to talk about levels of knowledge and knowledge in general. I studied philosophy for decades with Sylvia Brown and her guides, Rahim and Francine. And this information is mostly from Francine, who is a spirit guide who would study with council on the other side, a council of elders, and bring us information. So, God loves us continuously. No matter what's happening, no matter what we do, God loves us. So take what rings true. If you don't believe in God, then source or universe or whatever it is, anything that you don't believe, just let it drop away. Keep what rings true and let the rest go. So, why do we want to gather knowledge? Why do we search for knowledge? Because we want to advance, and we were created by God to experience and to find out stuff and to gather knowledge. As I've said before, some people want a thimble of knowledge and experience, other people want a bucket, and other people want a gigantic bucket. So, most likely, if you're listening to this, then you want a bucket. People who want a thimble are probably sitting under a tree on the other side, just enjoying themselves. And as people who go to graduate school don't usually mingle with the people who are in kindergarten or preschool, not that they aren't wonderful souls, but if you compare yourself to someone who's being educated in the universe of the earth, then you are searching after knowledge. God gave us curiosity and a desire to learn. He may have given us a desire to learn a little tiny bit, and we're fine with that. Or he gave you a desire to learn a whole bunch, or anything in between. We are the emotional side of God. God chose to create us to experience for him. So we're like sparks of God, like each one of us is a single cell of God. And together we help make up the emotional part of God. And we share our experiences with him and gather the knowledge for ourselves as well. So we have emotional and intellectual knowledge. And we're giving God, who knows all, the emotional knowledge. We can learn on the other side, heaven, at a slow rate, or we can incarnate on this planet or other planets and learn at a faster rate. We are so much smarter on the other side because we can remember all of our lifetimes and all of the knowledge that we've gathered. When we come into this life, the saying is the veil comes up and we're hidden from most of our knowledge. God's written record of everyone's lives are kept in the Hall of Records, a temple that keeps what we call the Akashic records. We get knowledge from God every day. That infusion of information comes, there's a dome that comes over us, and there's a sparkly rainbow kind of light. And our angels and spirit guides know that God is communicating with us, and they back away and give us some private space to receive our message from God. And then we unknowingly think we got that marvelous thought about our life and said, our creator just shared it with us. Also, it helps to get communication from God if you actually ask God for help and be specific. Don't say, help me. Help you get a candy bar? Help you with your son who's in the hospital? Help you what? Be specific. Don't just say, help me. On the other side, we can learn many things easily. Like if we want to learn a new language, we can study that quickly and learn it perfectly. On this side, we have to work a lot harder. But because we go through trials and tribulations on earth, then we get more brownie points. We get more advancement points, as you could say. So is advantageous to come to a planet like Earth that has more negativity than other planets because you have to overcome things. And when you overcome adversity, you gain more levels of knowledge on the other side and more levels of advancement. So the more you incarnate, usually the more you learn, and the more you learn, the more knowledge you gain. We are actually participating in difficult experiences instead of reading about them, instead of having someone tell us about them. We're actually doing it. We are the brave ones. We are the strong ones. We were allowed to come to this planet. Others are not allowed. All these unexpected things happen. We wrote a chart with experiences we wanted to have on Earth, and we have goals that are filtered through our theme. Maybe your theme is caretaker, your theme is responsibility, or your theme is experiencer. And your experiences are filtered through those themes to help you gain knowledge. Our spirit guides and our personal angel keep us on our chosen path, like the guiding GPS in your car. They don't make choices for us, but they will get us back on track of where we want to be and who we want to contact or have an experience with. So they sort of filter us into those things. We can ask them for advice, our guides and our angels. We can ask them for protection. We can ask them for help, specific help. But they're not going to change our life chart, but they will give you infusion from simple to complex. And they speak telepathically. They give you ideas in your mind. It could be as simple as stop at the grocery store that you haven't been to in a couple of years. And you go there and you see a friend you haven't seen in years. Or it could be something more difficult, how to deal with something that's happening in your life that you're having a lot of trouble with. The saying is that we are perfecting our soul by incarnating. We experience and gain knowledge by coming into life because we want to advance in levels. As you advance in levels, your capacity for happiness increases and your ability to feel love increases and you feel more bliss. When you're on the other side, you feel God's love every moment of the day. But if you wanted to feel more love, you wanted to feel more happiness, you wanted to feel more bliss, then you would advance your soul to the next step. There's 7 major levels of soul's advancement, and each level has 4 steps or sub-levels. So usually the more incarnations you have, the higher your advancement level, and the more knowledge you gather, the higher your level. So let's go over the levels. Level 1, we go back to the other side. We see our loved ones when we get back from a life and our pets from all our lifetimes. We check out our lives on the scanning machine where we are the only judges of our lifetime. And we decide, are we going to come back into another life? Are we going to take a rest? Are we going to stop incarnating? Are we going to go to another planet for a while and then come back to this life or this incarnation series on Earth? So level 1, we come back to the other side. Level 2, orientation. You reorient to your life on the other side. So you figure out, oh, I was a researcher and I'm going to go back to researching. But in the meantime, if you've had a difficult life, you might be cocooned. That's like wrapped in wonderful blankets, soothing, and angels attend you until you're at your peaceful state of being on the other side. Or you might visit the towers for a while. They're tall buildings where you have some privacy. You can write, you can read. It's sort of like a spa also. You can have massage. You can look out at a waterfall or other views until you're peaceful and at your normal other side self. And then you go back to whatever your vocation is on the other side. We actually have jobs. So level 1 and level 2. Level 1, come back to the other side. Level 2, orientation. Level 3. Level 3 is hands-on vocations. It could be physical or science-based. You could take care of animals. You could do landscaping. You might do chemistry. You might be a geologist. You might be a carpenter. You might be a physicist, etc. Anything that's hands-on skills. Level 4 is creative arts, like painting and acting and writing, sculpture, singing, etc. Level 5, research. You progress in any area like medicine or science or technology, and you do research, especially for the planet Earth. So maybe you were the one who figured out how to make a light bulb and infused it into Edison. Because once we figure out something on the other side, then we can infuse it to someone who's incarnate or in life. Or perhaps you discover something and you decide you want to be the one to bring it to Earth. So you incarnate and bring that research that's usable on Earth. Some researchers make the discovery and then go to our side, Earth, and then bring that about. Another example of someone who received research infusion was Linus Salk, who created the polio vaccine. I think his first name was Linus. Level 6, the teachers, orientators, seminar leaders, lecturers. So that would be level 6. Level 7. Not many people choose to go to level 7. You could be at the level of 7. You've gone to level 6 and you've gone through each step, 1, 2, 3, 4 of level 6, and you could go to level 7. But level 7 means giving up your heavenly body and being part of the Godhead again, being part of the uncreated mass of God. It's not something I feel inclined to do, but rarely some people do decide to do that, and that's their choice. I believe I will keep my heavenly body, continue gaining knowledge, and not go into the 7th. But who knows, maybe millennium from now, I would choose to go to the 7th. Obviously, after each life, we go through all the levels. We go through level 1, which is going back to the other side, obviously, and level 2, which is orientation. You reorient. And then once you're acclimated, you go back to the level you were working on. So say you were on level 4, creative arts, then you would go back to the other side, you would go to orientation, and you would skip to the creative arts, whatever you were working on. Or say you were a teacher on level 6, so you go back to level 6. But if you decided you wanted to work with marine animals for a while, you would go to level 3, and that's fine. You can go back to another level and work on that for a while. But you're allowed to go to your highest level that you have attained, but you can work at any other level you wish. Maybe you want to go to level 5 and do some medical research. You're free to do so. These levels are not connected to your life chart on Earth. You could be a seminar leader on the other side and be a maintenance man on Earth. You could be a music composer on the other side and be a plumber on Earth. You choose your life chart because you choose your experiences and whatever would facilitate you getting the knowledge that you want to get and the experiences that you want to get. You aren't tied into anything because of your level of advancement. No, you can give your guide permission to read your mind for this entire lifetime, which would help because then they can understand what you're feeling and what you are thinking. So when you ask for specific help for your job or specific help dealing with your daughter, then your guide has a clue about what's going on. Please give them permission for your entire lifetime, not just one moment. So you don't have to do that, but it helps if you do that. Others are learning from you. People on the other side are watching and learning from you how to survive this life on earth. By watching you, they learn how to overcome adversity and negativity. You are the courageous one. You are the strong one. You chose to come and actually experience personally this most difficult planet. Your reward is advancement of your soul. Your reward is gaining a greater capacity to hold more happiness, to hold more joy, to feel more of God's love. And people would like that. If you feel right now, what is the most happiest you've been in this life? What's the happiest time you've had? The happiest memory? And then if you magnify that, wouldn't you like it? That's why you came to Earth, because you want a greater capacity to hold love, joy, and happiness. I applaud you for your bravery. You are very brave to come to Earth. It's most difficult. Some people are on a rest life and it's not as difficult as others, but I'd be willing to bet that you have had some difficult things happen in your life, some difficult experiences. So gather up that knowledge from this lifetime, and that knowledge will help you to gain advancement points. So when you go to the other side, you will be able to feel more happiness, to feel more joy, and to feel more love. That's the purpose of gaining knowledge. Thank you for joining me. You can see me next week on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time for the next Take What Rings True. Thanks for joining me. Bye.